We're back, ladies and gentlemen, for our last cast of the day. I'm Penguin, this is Ox, and it's a bit of a sad one, but we'll be back, I'm sure, at some point. But it's not got time to be sad. We got to talk about the next game, and it's WLGaming versus Vodafone Giants. And for now, this is probably the best the Greek seed has looked in a very long time.
Yeah, 2018, they managed to get out of the group stages with Panathinaikos. I might have butchered that a bit, whatever.
You got it perfect.
Oh, thank you. But
Trouble will be proud.
2 teams in group stages is huge. And the fact that we saw WLG really challenging makes me optimistic, because I don't think this is just, oh, we got 2 teams in group. This is WLG potentially looking to go further. And especially, I want to highlight Paris. A roster with him is a roster destined for success, because he is the one who got out of group stage previously for Greece, and he's been a mainstay for the region and a driving force so far this tournament as well. His Galio has been absolutely massive, and I like the fact it's not just about finding that priority and leading side lanes. In team fights, the taunts have just been stellar.
And it's almost kind of, you look at the kind of comparisons between these 2 regions. Greece on the up and up. Labrov, a Greek player himself, gaining Rookie of the Split in LEC. WLGaming and Intrepid Fox making it into groups. Regardless of whatever happens from now on, they have done the best the Greek region has ever done. On the other hand, though, the Vodafone Giants in Spain, the SLO, they're kind of losing a little bit of momentum. They used to be seen as the region, and they haven't really lived up to that.
They've already lost their 3rd seed.
Yeah.
GT Arctic already didn't make it, and I think that's a big hit already, because it puts more pressure on the other 2 teams. We see Movistar do really well, but everyone was kind of looking at Movistar and being like, well, they did good in spring, they're going to do good in summer, and Giants, they got so close to the title. Last year, they managed to get to the finals, but since then, it's kind of just been an afterthought for them. And if they want to come out as a strong contender, they need this game to round out the week as a 2-1 scoreline and look to come out of groups.
And you look at the lineup the Vodafone Giants have here, you know, D'Antonio, Pretty, Attila. These guys have been around the scene. Attila himself has been to the World Championship. There's no veterancy better than what you have right here, and D'Antonio as well. Someone who's very used to the EU Masters stage. These guys need to step up.
Yeah, and let's have a look at the draft here. Obviously been going on behind us. I think the key thing I want to highlight is the fact that Morgana was banned from Vodafone, but not Caitlyn, so clearly ready for it. And they do answer with the Ashe. Ashe, something that was powerful enough itself, but when Caitlyn made a resurgence, she can match the range, she can try and contest a shove, and Vodafone will pick up that Sett. So potential to put it in the jungle, I think, is the spot I feel like he's strongest at the moment, and given a lot of agency over to Lamabear. He's often a player who likes to lean on that early impact.
For first time in a very long time, we actually see Caitlyn slipping through the bands there. WLGaming immediately jumping on that incredible power pick and looking for the safe blind as well in the Syndra. So right now, WLGaming feeling like they're picking up what they want right now.
Yeah, I mean, you have a strong mid laner who's going to be able to find priority in a lot of matchups. You have an AD carry bot lane who scales extremely well, is basically 100% pick ban at this point, and is going to be able to put a lot of laning power. So he's going to go for the Sejuani in the situation, something that is a bit more of a defensive pick in the jungle for Warden here. Often a big role as a voice in the team, but we did see him really pop off in the Graves, getting a pentakill earlier this week. But here, a bit more for I'm going to facilitate the team. I already have big carries.
And that's the thing. When you look at this team from WLGaming, Warden is the glue for what this team is. There is a couple of times you watch IceBreaker and Paris and even Bananitoo as well. They just overstep. They go a bit too ham, and Warden has just kind of brought them all in. They brings in the reins, like, all right, guys, like, look, just calm down. We still got this. He can do both, and it feels with the Sejuani, he's very heavily being put on that facilitator role, like you said.
And I think at contrast, a big glue for the side of Giants, who just, you know, we'll say he's a bit of a crit stick on this one, is Erdote. I think he's been absolutely massive, because we're looking at this draft so far. I see Sett, Akali. I think this is a lot of mid-jungle pressure. But the way Vodafone Giants plays, it's not just about the mid-jungle players. Erdote often floats up to mid lane and will spend a lot of time there applying pressure. Initially, you look at this roster and you think, well, they have Attila, surely they play around him. But actually, the mid is a huge focus. And having those 3-mans rather than a 2-man gives them the edge. They can translate that pressure. So I'm excited to see what they bring out as a pick for Erdote. For now, they're banning away these support champions. The Lux is a very strong blind who's had a resurgence in the meta, but also on top of that, great with Caitlyn. So I love that takeaway. After that, they're just going to go for the Ornn for IceBreaker. Personally, I feel like for Vodafone Giants, you need counter pick and support. One of the big things with letting Caitlyn go is that's one thing. But if you also blind pick your support and give them counter, you're in a really rough spot. So I think here they just take a top laner for the Antonio. He often likes to lean on these weak siders. As you can see, the Shen and the GP band away, but he does still have options.
Yep, so plenty of options here for him to look at. So we can see what WLGaming want to go for. And this is the power of red side. You have got that option to blind pick something. And it's actually going to be potentially the Thresh locked in. And this is... They're keeping it for the top side. They're keeping the Antonio for that counter pick. But like you said, you've given away the Caitlyn. Now you know exactly what's going into that bot side. You can just take an advantage.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a bold one. I mean, Thresh, as far as picks in the bot lane go, he's doing okay in terms of blind potential. It's only really Blitzcrank who's a very good matchup into him, but it's very much you have to be aggressive in that. Or it's Tom who neutralizes him, but they are going for the aggressive one, so they're taking that Blitzcrank. They're like, cool, you want to take the Thresh? We will answer you.
And that's the thing. Blitzcrank is one of those champions that no matter how far behind he is, no matter how long into the game and you think you've won it, just takes one hook.
Yep.
One hook is all it will take. And then you're just, one carry is dead. You have a 5v4. There's nothing you can do. And it's in an instant. We'll see what the final pick is for WLGaming. Of course, it's going to be for IceBreaker. Going to see if he go for something a little bit more weak side. Actually going for a little bit of a push here with that Urgot. So if that Sett does go to the Antonio on the top side, he will have that early game pressure.
Yeah, and I'll be interested to see what comes out from the Antonio, because obviously can't flex are Sett, but typically we see him playing a lot of tanks in this situation. Gangplank Shen are in his champion pool, but when those are down, he'll lean onto something like Sion. Sion's actually an okay matchup in Urgot, in all honesty. One of the big things is that you're actually good at trading in the early levels. You can handle him. And on top of that, you can actually cancel the ultimate with your ultimate, so less vulnerable. But instead he's leaning on the Kennen. I'm less sure. It does provide that backline access, which I think was important. You got the double ninja diving duo between him and Pretty. But I am a little bit concerned because the Antonio's last Kennen game in this tournament was not Pretty.
No, because Pretty's in mid lane. But I couldn't pass up the opportunity. But as well as that, we were talking about this just before broadcast. The nerfs that came in from the Kennen. The AD nerf was massive.
48 AD at level 1. 48.
So, like, it's nothing. You're not even going to tickle someone like an Urgot.
And for context, this nerf came when AD Nico and AD, well, on-hit Nico and on-hit Kennen were big. So it's been a long while, but I think that's the issue with Kennen is you're not as good as providing that lane pressure as you used to be. It's more about the team fighting.
Flanks.
So very much looking for that. And I think Vodafone Giants, when you get in the later stages, you do have engage tools, you do have backline access, but if you miss your mark on those, you are not going to have a good time.
Looking at the two comps there, I like what WLGaming have provided themselves. They gave themselves an incredibly strong bot lane that has a lot of pick potential, but as well as that, the Syndra can just stat check every now and again. If they get ahead, they will snowball ahead.
And I completely agree. I honestly feel like WLGaming brought out a lot of confident picks, but execution is going to be the big thing here. I'm seeing a Blitzcrank. I'm thinking, are you going to be able to challenge this Thresh in the bot lane? Are you going to make your pick relevant? And the other side, I'm seeing an Akali for Pretty, which by all means I'm happy with, especially with Erdote on the Thresh. He's going to be able to roam up and assist. That's what we expect from them, but this is a lot of pressure on both teams because WLGaming, they are the main hope for Greece right now, the only team to be able to get a win. Intrepid Fox looking a little bit rough, but for side of Vodafone Giants, 2 teams left for the SLO, and with the history of this region, you do not want to be letting them down.
Absolutely. You think of the SLO, you think of Spain in general, the amount of times you'll see casters all around the world saying, SLO finals are on, you need to watch. You need to watch this right now. Because it seems to just Harvard. Think back to Nemesis and Selfmade back on the Mad Lions rosters. You have so many teams that have just basically almost copy-pasted up into the LEC, and they need to keep up that prestige that region has gained for themselves.
And it's been a while since a win. They've still been getting decent results. We saw, a year ago it was finals. In spring it was semi-finals. But it's not a win, and that's what Spain really wants to be able to achieve again for themselves. They have 2 in the bag already, but dated at this point, and you can't live on those past accomplishments. And Giants were not one of those teams who were able to get one of those. They want to get their first title at EU Masters.
Spain cannot become the Korea of EU Masters. You can't sit on past championships. Yeah, we were fantastic. You're not anymore. There's a new boy in town. It's honestly kind of feeling like they have a lot of pressure, and that expectation, like you talked about sometimes, can get a bit, in your head.
I've just realized if Spain is Korea, then the NLC is NA.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
It's so sad, but Lamabear looking for something here, but I like the cover from Warden. He senses something, moves over. You also see Paris move back. you expect to see a lot of early aggression from a Sett, especially into a Sejuani. He is, I mean, it's in his kit. I know he's got abilities called FaceBreaker, but he literally, that is the goal of the champion. He wants to break your face and set up those early plays. So Warden, it's going to be a very defensive play from in the early game where he just tries to find opportunities to keep away from Lamabear and mitigate his pressure for the most part.
Good early hook, level 2 hit first by the Vodafone Giants to get the Ignite out, but the flash burned from Mersa. So far, the aggression working well. This is to be expected. I know we talk about how a Caitlyn Blitzcrank should be able to win. Level 1 to 3, I feel like the Ashe is always going to have the push.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just the Ashe, but the Thresh as well has a lot more tools he can use. At level 1, you have the Flay, you have the auto-attack range, you can help and assist with pushing. So realistically, that was a mistake from Mersa there to even step up. You respect the level 1 advantage, you back away, you let them get it, and then at level 2 and 3 is where you start to play around the rocket grab and those traps. But being flashless, being down on HP in that lane, not an ideal spot when you opted in to this matchup.
And I like the confidence from Attila right now, going straight for the cull, knows that he's not really going to be in much danger unless he completely mispositions. So an error is on him. That's basically what this item says to me.
It's really simple. If you want to win lane against a Blitzcrank, just don't get grabbed.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy clap. Nothing else can really tell you more about that one there. As you can see, Pretty in Paris. Pretty in Paris. Ah.
Yeah, both weak players.
Yes. Oh, another good hook. Gets the Flay. Gonna keep going. Mersa has no flash. There's no heal available either. As you can see, the cleanse, and Bananitoo just has to watch his support die. Erdote, you talked about it. He's the guy that's going to be making the plays for Giants, and he is making an impact in this bot lane.
He's a huge facilitator. Oh, he's going again.
Oh, so close. He lands that hook. That's it.
Yep, that is... I mean, he has cleanse, but even so, it's both summoners down bare minimum, and it's a lot of impact on the lane. But I'm loving the confidence from Erdote. Often I see him as a player, sort of the personification of Bard, floats around, roams to different areas, but he still has that skill in the bot lane. Finds a window to punish Mersa without the flash, and at this point, it's just chased him down, which Ashe and Thresh are so good at doing that constant slows. And Bananitoo, there's nothing he can do at this point. There's no real retort he has. He's been auto-attacking Attila there, and he only lost a third of his health.
But even then, that just feels like pretty big disrespect from Mersa. You have no flash. You're just sitting in a bush that they know you're in. You haven't come out of it yet. I feel like you just needed to sit behind minions. And unfortunately for the side of WLGaming and the, the GLL is that is a bit of a, kind of unforced error, as I like to call them.
Yeah, and Giants are the sort of team who will challenge on the... Oh, not again.
Oh no, he has no flash again. Gonna get flayed back, has no real way of getting back out of this. They do land a good trap though onto Attila, but right now this is just not feeling good for the WLGaming bot lane. And you can see Warden already having to follow Lamabear to just make sure that this wave can be pushed.
Yeah, and we do see the Syndra moving down as well from Paris.
Ooh, 3 points. Straight to the goalpost, and with that lantern just enough, he flashes in, gets the FaceBreaker in. Bananitoo just trying to run away, but that phase rush is there. They will drop him down though, and the ignite and the stun copying onto him. Lamabear will fall. Bit of over-aggression as Paris was the first one to roam. Paris and Attila pretty much caught, and 2 quick kills. What the hell happened?
I mean, it's just Paris. He is a big facilitator for the team. He is huge on roaming champions. Both games before this, he played Galio, and even though he's not the champion, the mindset is still there. I will move first, I will help the team. And we'll see a scenario here where a botched play, honestly, from Giants ends up turning around massively for WLGaming.
Yeah, you can see it here. This is the botched play from WLGaming, and you feel like Giants have everything, but the roam is already coming in on the mini-map. They have a numbers advantage.
This was over-aggressive. You should know that the enemy mid lane has come in, the movement should have been reported. It feels like it's a cocky play, and Lamabear, they used everything to get him in. He has nothing to get out, and Paris can just walk upon Attila. You can't deal with the Syndra at that point, and it really just turns things around in favor of WLGaming. And I can't emphasize this enough, we've seen Mersa getting bullied in the bot lane. This is still a counter matchup. If you find momentum, you can really start to punish the Thresh. Yes, it looks a little bit rough from what happened in the early game, but things have evened out considerably, and now Giants looking to start up that dragon. You can see that some of WLGaming are in the area, but critically, Warden is on the other side of the map, so unlikely to really do anything at the back of this.
Yeah, Paris seeing Pretty as Pretty tried to see if they would get lazy with their pathing, go towards that river to get back into the lane. But something I did want to say about We Love Gaming, as you saw, Pretty was very late on that rotation. They were very respectful of the fact that they did not know where that Akali was. They all went back as a unit through the lane, recalled, got themselves back into their own respective lanes. Yes, they lost a little bit of a CS lead. It's not that big of a deal. You're not giving over kills. So props to them.
Absolutely, because this is a scary Akali. Pretty really good at wielding champions like these, very aggressive in his playstyle, and he will look to challenge you if he finds an opportunity. So far, not really managed to manifest, but they're doing okay in terms of farm. I think that's a big thing. You look at the kill lead for We Love Gaming, but Giants ahead in farm in the mid lane and the bot lane top as well has put them a little bit ahead in terms of gold, but securing that dragon keeps things in check. You know, despite the fact that we saw the roam from Paris, they're still feeling pretty confident.
So a little bit of what could potentially be coming, as you saw the stun into the root, into the, pilt over Peacemaker, into a hell of a lot of damage there on top of Attila, who has gone back, picked up his Bilgewater Cutlass, as well as a pair of brown bags for his feet. But this kill, this CS lead, it kind of mitigates all that kind of good work they had done in that bot side, purely from the fact that the BF sword is now finished, and you've got a little bit of extra movement from the, the brown bags. Bananito's not in a bad spot.
Yeah, and I think this is the point where Caitlyn really starts to hit like a truck. Because early levels, yes, you have a lot of pushing power, you can harass without really getting traded back into, but your damage isn't that high. Once you get a BF sword though, your autos actually really start to hit, so it's a nice spike for the Caitlyn. Giants, they're going to start this Herald, but We Love Gaming might be contesting. You can see them starting to move over.
Yeah, Mersa's here, but very importantly, Warden is still very, very far away. You can see no teleport on IceBreaker either. They go in. It's on 9 HP. It's actually Thresh who takes it. And now Lamabear with no flash needs to figure out what he wants to do. Goes in with the ultimate, trying to see if he can do Pretty as joy. Great stun there, though, from Paris. He unleashes the power. Lamabear goes down, but the Akali absolutely shredding through this bot lane, and Giants pick themselves up too.
Pretty just waiting for the moment to go for that opportunity. Ultimately, We Love Gaming approaching quite slowly then. They do nearly steal the Herald, but it felt a little bit misjointed. They could have moved IceBreaker up. They didn't opt to, and it ends up backfiring pretty heavily. It was just Bananitoo was split off from the team, was essentially isolated, and when you have a composition who needs to be peeling for the backline, it's never going to go well. You can see
9 HP.
Yeah, it's a late approach to try to steal, and then Bananitoo, he does dodge the hook there, but he's isolated the scenario. He moves up to the side, and there's no way you're going to be comfortable there. We talked about Giants' win condition was backline access, and Pretty finds it here.
Ugh, just waiting, like you said, waiting for the moment to come in. Bananitoo just gets caught a little bit in no man's land, gets separated from his team, and a fantastic punish there from Pretty. And that came off the back of where Paris got a fantastic start to this. They got a great two-man scatter the week. They looked like they were turning around the fight, and overall it was just a really good one. But as D'Antonio jumps in with the slicing maelstrom, they get the flay. Erdote not able to catch the hook, and 4 people on this bot side. They're looking for a couple of plates, maybe even more. I feel like We Love Gaming, they just got to give up.
Yeah, I mean, the Herald's in the pocket of Lamabear as well, so we see the bot lane of We Love Gaming pushing in the top side, but against the Herald, you're not winning this race in this situation. They have got a lot of plates, but it's just last 2. Really tanky there, really difficult to take down, and Giants, as soon as they get it close, even before that, are going to throw down the Herald, get a lot of damage on this. Actually, I feel like this is a little bit of an early Herald, because they can defend this now. It gets very tanky at the lower plate level.
Still, though, they now see Lamabear deciding that he was going to be a nice buffer of the CC, but it's just not going to be enough as the Ashe arrow landed and gave enough time for Attila to pick himself up another kill. That is going to be first turret and all the plates going over to the side of Vodafone Giants. And we can see now Pretty maybe trying to jump into a great graceful prison. They're going to unleash the power, and they get the stun shut down. We Love Gaming are still here.
That's some really nice execution there from We Love Gaming, and as much as they do lose on that tower bot lane, they got a lot of plates top. It's not an even trade, but it's still okay, all things considered. We Love Gaming keeping themselves relevant in this game and finding an opportunity to punish Pretty there from a bit of an over-aggressive reach in the enemy jungle.
I was going to just say, like, it just feels every time as we have a look at this kind of replay here, it was just enough time for the stun to come in. It does buffer it,
yeah,
but just enough time.
I just like how Warden doesn't block it when he has flash and his dash and leaves it for IceBreaker, but I guess maybe the call was just let him go. But I mean, Pretty was just playing with fire here. You know Paris is there, you know Warden's left bot lane. That was greedy.
And this is kind of the the criticisms that we come in with Vodafone Giants in the Spanish region in general. These are the things where they're like, look, they did amazing work. The plays were solid. and then they threw it away for something silly.
Yep.
There's no need whatsoever for Pretty to be in that position. Your bot lane had already gotten the turret. There's no way you can pick up any more kills, and he just gets caught straight up.
I mean, that should have been an overwhelmingly advantageous play for Giants, and it's kind of soured a little bit from the end result, but it's still Giants in control, looking to start up this dragon, and no real contest coming out from WLGaming. Warden just trying to pick up some farm on the other side of the map, and that's okay. WLGaming don't necessarily need to contest the second one, but 2 in the pocket means that third is a higher priority, and Cloudsoul has varied impact, I would say. The movement speed good on some champions, not as good on some other. But I'm thinking one champion who it's amazing on is that Kennen. When you need backline access on a Kennen, Cloudsoul is beautiful. So I think WLGaming may have to contest that third one.
One thing as well with Cloudsoul, on the other side of it, with WLGaming, getting that 30% extra, you know, if you stack up 3 of it on cooldown on your ultimates, that's pretty big for a Syndra. That's pretty big for a Sejuani. So you got to be very, very careful on how many of these you let go now, because they stack, they start to become far more powerful than they are in their isolation.
Absolutely, and that's the thing, is that it's not too bad to give over 2 dragons as long as you stop the build-up from that. Normally, 3rd dragon is intercepted, because if you lose that one, it's not just that you have to contest every dragon from then on. If it gets smited and you win the fight, you still lost the soul. There's no retrieving that. So normally teams, they let 2 go over, and the 3rd is where they look to fight it. And realistically, WLGaming are very slightly behind in gold. They're in a comfortable spot to potentially do so. It's just about finding the right fight. For now, we're seeing again a bit of a switch up. It's Blitzcrank and Caitlyn in the mid lane. IceBreaker again playing this weak side role. And he does a pretty good job of this. Yes, he's been punished, but for the most part, IceBreaker's solid at sort of mitigating pressure for the team and absorbing when he needs to. It's not always possible in scenarios like this. I don't expect him to walk up in 1v2, but he's doing something to mitigate.
Yeah, he's trying to just keep it as going, you know, as well as he possibly can. Lamabear is here. Just needs to be a bit careful. We'll take a bit of a punishment there for being a little bit over-aggressive. But they've actually put Paris into that bot lane to deal with the Kennen, as he is the one with the teleport.
Yeah, and as well, I actually think you can actually find kill potential as a Syndra onto a Kennen. I think he's fishing for it here.
Oh, gets the stun, gets the unleashed power. Has he got enough? Not quite, but the flash going to be in. Teleport used as well, so this will be Pretty. Joining in, has no boots, forced the flash, does have the Hextech Gunblade though for the slow. The Scatter the Weak does not land the stun, and you can see just using everything for the perfect execution. Pretty does turn out that in favor of Vodafone Giants.
Oh, but Giants still looking for more here.
There's a flank coming in, but there is no ultimate available. They need to be so careful. Good hook there, but it's onto the wrong person. Erdote is trying to just get away. He is ignited, not quite able to go down. They are just doing so much damage. The smackdown onto Mersa means another kill goes over the Vodafone, and they are getting away with these over-aggressive plays. IceBreaker just trying to slow him down, not quite able to catch onto Attila, and they will have
Bananitoo?
to back away. Bananitoo, what are you doing? Bananitoo, why? There was no need, but I see Pretty, yeah. There was no need for him to try and go back until I saw Pretty going in, so it was damned if he does and damned if he doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, at least didn't give kill over the Akali, but a very nice response coming out from Giants. You see Paris look for the play on the bot side, but he's isolated. Pretty responds with the TP, able to find the one out, and then the evolving fight, it's WLGaming saying, oh, well, you took something bot side, we'll respond, but Giants were ready. I love the confidence of the Antonio to TP in, despite the fact no ult available, because it wasn't important they had the ultimate. It was important that they had someone on the flank to cause issues. So WLGaming were like, well, I guess we have to fight. Bananitoo's locked between several members, and he tries to get damage down on the Sett, but now where is he supposed to go from here? He's trapped. The rest of the team gets away, but it's just a really unfortunate position for the Caitlyn to be in. Eventually he goes, I guess I'll just run towards my teammates mid, hope that works, but yeah, not much chance of that.
Attila picks himself up a nice free one. In fairness, as you say, not giving over any more assist gold or any more gold in general. The hook, woo, whistled past his butt cheeks.
Hasn't been super impactful. I think that's the big thing with the Blitzcrank, especially we talked about being a counter matchup. Blitzcrank is very hit or miss, literally.
Literally hit or miss. But all it takes is one. He talked about this. He said this is the reason they're coming. But it's also, I got to give testament to the person you highlighted, Erdote. He's just been on point in keeping Attila alive, keeping him safe. In that, literally that fight right there, you can see it actually. I say that hook does land, and it's going to be in the Antonio using the slicing Nelson to try and get away, but he's going to be popped up and locked down. Warden picking up a kill. And the Antonio, he's kind of using these ultimates suboptimally, and it's good for WLGaming.
Yeah, I mean, they're stopping the Kennen threat potential by going for these plays. But we see a counterpoint here. Good tower take from WLGaming, good pick. but you see that Giants are looking to answer the mid lane. But honestly, a Herald charge, there's no plates available, so it's just doing some damage. You take those at WLGaming, so a good pick for them in that play.
And the gold isn't running away for the side of WLGaming. It's only 1,000 gold. You just kill the Kennen. D'Antonio has no TP. There is no T on Pretty either. IceBreaker has got the TP. You can just keep this going. You can then trade for pretty much any of these Cloud Souls. And this is where it starts to get a little bit dicey for Vodafone Giants. You're starting to lose control of the map.
Yeah, and I mean, you start stacking those dragons. They mean nothing if WLGaming start taking them now. They're not even positioned to contest this one. They are looking towards that mid tower, but WLGaming are cool. We'll deny you the soul win condition by an extra 5 minutes minimum. And
10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, we'll just be able to walk over to that tower and defend, actually.
Oh, just misses out on the execute, but a lot of damage there. Even the Shroud not going to be enough to keep him safe. And this is kind of something that gets me a bit worried if I'm an SLO fan. Vodafone Giants clearly had advantages, clearly looking at these, but those extra TPs looking for kills, looking for those kind of like, you know, callbacks, means they can't fight around those objectives, means they can't go to contest around these other things. And WLGaming just feel a bit more composed.
Yeah, and I think a big driving force has been Warden. He's slowly been picking up more and more pressure, been getting these picks on the Sejuani. Not a pick you think of having the most impact, but will be a relevant tank later on, a source of peel when honestly this composition doesn't have a ton outside of really the self-peel for Syndra and Caitlyn. But we are now seeing this strong Sejuani is going to be more and more of a threat in this game, more and more for frontline. And ultimately, if Giants are trying to find that backline access, you do not want a big, tanky Sejuani, with the Knight's Vow as well just being picked up, blocking you.
And this is exactly what we were talking about. Warden is facilitating his team, pushing himself to be like, look, I will keep you safe. You guys are good. You just need a little bit of a mammy to keep you, you know, I believe in you, but don't be stupid.
Yeah, and for context, Warden actually joined the team very late. He was actually playing in this split in the UKLC, which is the second division behind the NLC, and he missed out on playoffs. 4 teams went to playoffs and he missed out with his team, and it's kind of an underwhelming split, but then he's come on to WLGaming and had such a resurgence for him and the team, and they've been performing well at E-Masters. I mean, even from this point of view, to be holding your own against a second seed from the SLO is absolutely massive.
Yeah, and you can hold your head up high, but we know the Greeks, we know the GLL, they want more. They don't want to just leave with a participation trophy. As I say that though, there is the Ashe arrow going to be used. They're just going to use it as a catch onto this Blitzcrank, and there's nothing the side of WLGaming can do to save him. Very nice pick off there from Vodafone.
Yeah, I mean, went for the grab onto him, without giving him a chance to use his rocket grab himself. Just a nice pick from Giants in that situation. No real response able to come through from WLGaming. And Lamabear just getting another one on the board. Gold leads about 3,000 now, so pretty significant. And in particular, I'm looking at Attila. Attila is stacking up items here. Blade of the King Runans and a BF sword compared to Bananitoo is a sizable advantage on this Ashe. And the Ashe scales well. I mean, this is why you're able to take this matchup from the Caitlyn, because you can handle the laning phase to a degree, and you do have a lot of scaling power. I mean, sure, Caitlyn is a monster in late game, but Attila is very relevant right now, and I'm looking towards that dragon in 2 minutes. Are WLGaming going to be contesting that one? Is Giants more importantly going to be contesting that one? Because I feel like right now they do win a team fight if they're able to execute properly.
That's the big if they can execute properly. The execution is very much something you need to have. And something I saw on D'Antonio, he went for the Hextech Gunblade as well. So they're not looking for that Proto Bell jump me in onto the backline. He's looking for assassination, pick one and delete. So you've got two big assassin threats, the two ninjas on the side of Vodafone Giants, that you got to be very careful of if you're WLGaming.
I think as well, the Gunblade, often it's one of those things, we haven't seen the Proto Belt nearly as much, but I think it's because it gives that extra laning power into the likes of an Urgot. And obviously, we're past the laning phase here, but you don't want him to run away in the side lane and become a problem. It does mean, as you said, though, a lot of bursts from him and Pretty, double ninjas, double gunblade. You get those on a carry, and it can be really difficult to survive.
Ooh, Ashe arrow was immediately, the Enchanted Crystal arrow was just up, it was used, and luckily for the side of WLGaming, they do not lose anyone to that, and lose no summoners either. The Dragon up in just over 1:20. You can see Vodafone Giants pushing their vision, looking to try and create advantages for themselves in this deep red side jungle of WLGaming.
Watching the Antonio here, it looks like they are posturing for a fight here.
It's a bit early. Don't think WLGaming need to be as posing as aggressively just yet.
I think the key thing is they want the vision control, because it's super threatening when you're up against a Kennen or an Akali to not know where they're coming from. And I think that's the thing I want to highlight when we set up the win conditions for these compositions, is the backline access is critical. If you get Pretty in the Antonio onto these carries, Giants are in a good spot.
However, if you don't catch out Paris, who's just finished off his Spellbinder, he will delete people.
And critically, level 13. There's a lot of spikes the Syndra gets based on levels. It's when she maxes her ability, she gets bonus effects from a passive. So you get one, obviously, at level 9 when you max your first ability. Level 13 is the next one, and it means you get a bit more power to work with.
Feels like both sides feeling like this is going to be a pretty damn big fight. Stopwatch is picked up there for Erdote and Pretty on the side of Vodafone Giants. You can see, rather than going towards that crit chance on the side of Bananitoo, they've actually gone straight for that BF sword. Knows that the damage needs to come in now and needs to be hitting hard. So right now, this Dragon could be potentially a big 5v5, but IceBreaker getting caught out, force a flash, does get himself nicely backed away though. There's the hook. Oh! Lands onto D'Antonio, and he's out. He's dead. The Dragon is still being done though right now. They can see it coming in. Flash is stolen! And that's a fantastic move from Warden. Now the fight can ensue. Vodafone Giants need to get the hell out of dodge. They jump in with the flash. He knocks them up. They're going to use the ultimate off of the Urgot. Fear beyond death. Is it going to be enough? It is almost certainly not, but it does not matter because Paris picked up the kill and WLGaming are in it.
WLGaming coming up huge. You're waiting for the Blitzcrank pick to be valued, and Mersa finds the opportunity. It only takes one. He finds the Antonio. Flash, TP, ultimate, all available for the Antonio. Nothing used, but he goes down. And WLGaming confident to take the fight from them. Warden delivering again with that smite steal. He's feeling confident for this one. No jungler available, but the Antonio has those cooldowns and he's teleporting in.
He is in. He has used nothing. There's the enchanted crystalline arrow. He goes in. The Antonio just going to try and jump out on top of IceBreaker, but a great shot. He's gone again. They do catch onto the Caitlyn, but Attila needs to get himself out. Pretty does take out the support, but that is not the priority person you need right now. Caitlyn can just delete people along the Syndra, and this is huge for WLGaming. Vodafone Giants tried to answer back, but they got clapped.
And it's just the Antonio unable to find these flanks. Again, he's died and he's still not used to flash the ultimate. He's just getting caught out, but I have to praise WLGaming. Their response to this backline is flawless, and Mersa finds the window, the one you need. The Antonio, nothing you can do. CC chain, one connects to the other.
Silence as well.
Exactly. And then Warden, beautiful smite steal.
Oh.
The big difference maker for this roster, coming in clutch once more. And the fight does continue here. Lamabear looks for an engage, but you're a man down, and ultimately you can see IceBreaker coming on the flank to secure things.
I want to just call out the absolutely unbelievable Scat of the Weeks that are coming out from Paris
He's
right
playing
now.
so well.
He is playing the game of his life right now. And this looked like it could have been fantastic. You have all cooldowns to the Antonio, and he gets caught again.
Why does he take this route, though? I think you wait by the blue buff spot, and then you flash over the wall, and you have a 4-man ultimate that would decimate them. Instead, he runs into the direction of the Syndra, gets stunned, and dies. I don't know. And Attila, honestly, I thought maybe there was a hope, but he was too low, too many threats onto him. It's just a bit rough from Giants, but WLGaming, honestly, this is what we're trying to sell you, is that this is not a minor region. This is Greece. They are proud and they are delivering in this game.
I love the fact that we've got WLGaming from the GLL.
They love gaming.
They love it. They love gaming. But it's not even just that. I have to stop myself very quickly. Shadow Crystal Arrow does not hit the right person.
Lasted like a split second.
It happened a split second, but you've got WLGaming from the GLL. You've got Samsung Morningstars from the side of PG Nats. This is them showing that they are working towards getting better. There are no more times, in my opinion, in the near future where every region's going to be easy to kill. Everyone's going to have their chance. Everyone's going to have their shot. And it's fantastic to know that this is happening in Europe so consistently.
Absolutely, and it's great to see. And we saw a bit of that on the world stage where the wildcards start to set up. And I'm starting to feel it here where I don't think there's any team you can write out. You get to group stages and you look at the groups and you go, oh, well, good. I'm not really sure about them, but no one really came into this and thought, WLGaming, they're going to be the team to beat. No one thought Samsung Morningstars, they're going to beat LDLC, but we're seeing it here, and honestly, it's so hype, it's so great to see. Now,
it's great to see, but it has to, they have to win.
They have to finish.
They have to win.
Finishing the week going 2-1 is very different from 1-2. It can make a big impact on how your week 2 goes. And right now, they're actually down in gold by about 1,000. They're equal in dragons.
No, they're still up.
Still anyone's game.
They're still up by 1,000. You've mixed it up. Oh, sorry, We Love Gaming. I thought you were talking about Giants.
Yeah,
My bad.
sorry.
I mixed it up. My apologies.
Well, okay, well, one team's up by 1,000, one team's down by 1,000.
There we go.
It's
We got
interesting
it.
how that works.
Yeah, wow, like maths, quick maths. I should never doubt my color, ever. But, as we said, game is not over. Vodafone Giants still have an advantage, and Attila is massive. He's got that IE, he's got the Runans with the play of Rune King as well. However, he needs to just make sure he's not caught. He's still sitting on without his flash, so very, very, very dangerous times for him.
And I'm still waiting for this big Kennen ult, because we've seen them countless times be game-winning, series-winning even at times. But we haven't seen a good one yet from the Antonio. You said it yourself, there's lots of opportunities, he's being caught out, he's wasting it. And this is someone who has been on Giants for such a long time. When they made it to the finals and nearly tasted victory, he was on the roster and he was performing extremely well. I want to see that, the Antonio. I want to see him delivering and finding the opportunities for his team, because I honestly think that's all it takes. One big Kennen ult, and this is Giants' game.
Again, as we said, this roster on Giants, Pretty, Lamabear, the Antonio, Attila, they are an incredibly veteran side. They have been here for so damn long. You can see the death cap just being picked up here for We Love Gaming. It's making it so much harder for the side of Vodafone Giants. And again, I want to harp back. Paris, we didn't highlight him, but I really want to highlight him now. He has had a fantastic game right now, and he's almost there. Vodafone Giants, I don't even think they can contest this right now. They're not close enough. They don't really have the items finished up just yet. And now we're on sole point for We Love Gaming. I talked about the stacking Drakes.
Oh!
It's a 30. Oh! Hook lands! The heal is used, and Mersa takes his prize.
You said it yourself. You just need one, and he finds Attila and takes him out. Possibly the most fed member on Giants, definitely close.
The most important, definitely.
The biggest veteran on the roster as well, taken off the Rift, and now WLG can move towards his Baron. They have the pick potential, dangerous for Lamabear to approach here.
It's dangerous for Lamabear to approach, but you've got everyone in a pit with a Kennen who has Flash and Ultimate available. There's a lot of burst damage available to an entire AoE team if you can find the fight, but IceBreaker is on the backside, and it's all been a big bait. They've actually backed out from the Baron all completely. Lamabear forced to flash away, use the Haymaker to keep himself alive. Baron does not go down. Vodafone Giants, it looks like they will only lose the one and lose nothing else.
Bit of a scrap there does mean they force him off a Baron. But WLG definitely finding some windows in this game. They're going to take this mid tower here, but you see the two ninjas looking for a
downtown. Warden's just going to soak it up. That's smart from Warden. Now, no, after his first mistake with IceBreaker, goes, all right, guys, I'm just going to hold this. Don't worry about it. They back away. They get the mid lane turret. They're going to have to spend some of that gold. They finally have themselves a gold lead.
And you can see that Giants, they're feeling really nervous about these engages. They're really on edge, and I can understand it. It's dangerous. It's hard. You have a lot of self-peel from the likes of a Caitlyn and a Syndra, a lot of layers you see to deal with, but they are starting the Baron. The key is there's no reset yet from We Love Gaming. A lot of low HP bars.
A lot of low HP bars, but importantly, IceBreaker doesn't have that, and they've got themselves the wrap. Pretty trying to come in on the backside. They've got the Scryer's Bloom. They know where the Baron is. It's only about half HP. They need to try and maybe look for this. Pretty looking to see if he can get on top of Bananitoo, but they're just putting it so very well. Paris pushes in the mid lane. The Baron down to about 3,000 HP. They're going to try and go for it. They're going to try and look for it. It's actually just Attila, and they back him away. There's a good Sejuani ultimate, and Kennen is dead. They swap it top laner for top laner, but look at the side of Pretty and Paris. He's down. They're now on Attila. It has to be him. He has to keep pushing. He's got the Ashe. He's got the damage. He got hooked, but is it enough? No, he hasn't. It's the quadra kill for Attila, and it's going to be Vodafone Giants taking back this game.
Definitely the most important one. Pretty goes down. The Antonio goes down, but Attila is still there. 9-3-5. The grab just pulls him closer, and he gets the quadra kill exactly when Giants need it. They're going to get the Baron of this one, and some flawless AD carry player from the veteran star of Giants.
What a game, Vodafone Giant. Look how scrappy this is.
And again, it's not a great ult from the Antonio. It's better than it has been, but he doesn't find the backline access in this situation. It's Pretty who managed to do it. He starts to move forward in this situation. The Antonio buys time, but I think the critical thing is watch how much damage is done onto Bananitoo here by Pretty. It's enough to get him low, but he does get taken out. But these low health bars, look at Attila, full HP, the only one of that situation. And this rocket grab, the CC is nice, but he's still healthy because of the lack of damage put down onto him, and he's able to clear up the sustained damage of this Ashe well enough for that scenario.
This is closer than I think any of us were going to think it was going to be. Good little steal there. It only takes one. It only takes one hook, and that's just tilting.
That's the true victory.
That is the true victory.
And actually, blue buff pretty important on an Akali. I'd actually say in some ways it can be more important than on a mana champion, because mana champions have a pool of mana to work with, right? Obviously, you don't want it to run out, and the blue buff helps that. But Akali always runs out of energy. Always. You can't stop that from happening, and the only way to improve your energy regen is by having a blue buff. So it really helps your team fighting power, your ability to rotate your cooldowns if you have that one available. So it's a significant steal. But will it be enough? Because we're looking to 1 minute from that next dragon. It would be sold for WLGaming, but you can see Giants, they have the Baron, they have the control of the area, and a 3k gold lead to boot.
Good thing for WLGaming is they're the ones on Soul Point, not Vodafone Giants, so they can give up this Cloud Drake. It's not going to make that big of a difference. They just need to defend as best they can. D'Antonio just hovering right now, seeing if he can get someone around. Pretty as well, going to find himself Warden. And you can see overall, Vodafone Giants, now they're starting to feel confident. Now they're starting to feel like they can look for these cheeky engages.
I mean, look at the items on Attila, by the way. He's got the core 3, the Blade of the Rune King, the Rune Lance, and that Infinity Edge. He's got the Death Dance for that extra lifesteal and the defensive stats, but also the QSS. And that's an extra element of safety that means if he's not dealt with, he can be a big force in these fights.
It's literally down to Mersa to get a hook on top of him, because right now you're looking at a QSS, Mikhail's Crucible, a heal.
Last fight he did, and it wasn't even enough. That is the scary thing, is the fact that, I mean, obviously context is important, but you rocket grab the AD carry.
Lamabear has no flash and actually getting taken pretty damn low here, and it's gonna be the fear beyond death. Nom 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 nom. That was a very delicious jungler. They can't get the steal off just in time though. That is a bit of a blunder though from the side of Vodafone Giants. It delays their Baron push.
Absolutely does, and essentially it's just gonna be stalled out because they're gonna have to wait for Lamabear. A lot of pushing out of waves has come in. You can see Paris pushing up mid with Bananitoo. You can see the IceBreaker pushing up bot. So even when they do respawn, Giants are going to take a long time before they're even touching towers, so great pick there.
Okay, we see the hook coming out along with the box. There's no Scout of the Week to land. Hook misses as well. TP coming in from IceBreaker, but tower does fall. TP on the back, he's right down the back side. Thank you, observers, for showing this. And now, where does D'Antonio go? He goes straight in, but he's been popped down. He has to go immediately into Zhonya's. He doesn't find anyone who he wants, and now he might be taken down. Pretty goes in, but Pretty gets blown up, and now they have Attila on this front line trying to just beat them down. There's low health bars, but the positive for the side of WLGaming is they haven't lost the key carries.
You can see they're playing so well around their peel. You cannot get backline access of Pretty or D'Antonio without getting popped, but it's not important to kill the carries at this point. You do damage, but it is Attila. If Attila is alive, Giants are looking good, and they are starting to push forward. Mersa's hunting.
Mersa goes find Erdote, and he might just fall. It will be a support for support, but there is the ultimate hit on top of the Ashe. Has to immediately QSS. Attila now looking very, very low on HP, and now the foot has been reversed. The shoe is now on the side of Vodafone Giants. They're the ones who are looking to try and just get away from this one. Pretty, you need to be very, very careful as your health bar is blinking. Has he got the ultimate? He does. It's going to be blocked by Lamabear. WLGaming, they just need to calm it down, back it up. You don't need to keep chasing.
Oh, I need to breathe for a second. These fights are so hectic. There's so much back and forth, and really we're looking at these key carries here. Ultimately, the flank comes in from Kennen, but no flash available, so you have limited access. Mersa and Warden instantly with the interruption of stall you out. The Zhonya's comes in, but Zhonya's really bad against Caitlyn just because she can instantly trap you. There it was IceBreaker, but Pretty, he tries to dive in as well. Yes, he gets out and gets a kill, but see how quickly his health bar just dropped, and Attila starts to push forward, but the fight doesn't really find any results there other than that one kill on IceBreaker, and it's so much on a knife's edge because the health bars from Giants are bleeding.
Attila is at critical mass.
Yeah.
He has finished up every item he possibly can. The only thing he can do now is sell his Berserker Greaves. With the way they're chasing people down, I don't recommend. You need the extra movement speed, I'm sorry. But WLGaming got a little bit more room to grow. They've got some time for Bananitoo to pick up a couple of more bit of items, and Akali, Pretty, just backing away, feeling a bit risky.
And that's the crazy thing. You can see at the bottom of the screen, we still have 3 more games on the night after this. We have Pompa against Misfits. Misfits looking like definitely the favorites for the LFL. Pompa still much to be desired, but I feel like we've had so many games, but this is only the 3rd.
It feels like we've been here for an eternity. It really, really does. And right now, it just feels like Vodafone Giants, they're being worked for this. Now, they have got themselves a 4,500 gold lead. They have got themselves now onto Soul Points. So the next dragon in 2 minutes' time will be very, very important.
we have a very late Medjai's from Paris.
That is a very late
That is
buy.
confidence I've ever seen it. And
not quite at 10 stacks to make it optimal, but with potential
it's
to
all
grow.
or nothing. It's like you win the next team fight, you've got Medjai stacks out the window, you're looking great. You don't, whatever. Game was over anyway. And we have a minute and a half on that Dragon, 15 seconds on the Baron. These are the big objectives. I don't think they'll instantly go for that Baron, but the Dragon, these teams both are looking at Soul if they can secure it. They will be looking to fight this one. For now, WLG are grouped up. You can actually see Lamabear looking for a flank on the side, potentially.
So right now, looking at these teams, as a you know, a color caster to me, I'm looking at Paris to carry, and I'm looking at Attila. They're the two guys I'm paying attention to.
I think Bananitoo, despite being down on items, the Caitlyn's still very strong now, so it's those two on WLGaming, and it's Attila. You still have to recognize the early threat of the Antonio and Pretty, but realistically, if the long fight's going to be won, it's Attila. And you can see the ninjas, they're going. Bananitoo could be in trouble.
Bananitoo could be in a lot of trouble here. The flash is
there.
There it is, the big slicing maelstrom. They find the Syndra, the most fed member on the side of WLGaming, and Giants are just ripping through health bars. It was nice while it lasted, but Vodafone Giants will take this win.
And that is the veterancy. It's the ability to find that window. We said you only need one hook, but you also only need one good slicing maelstrom. The Antonio finds it, they get the flank, those fed carries get destroyed, and Giants are going to be able to find this win.
Heartbreak for WLGaming, but a fantastic win for Vodafone Giants. They had to work for it. It was not given to them, but they will go into week 2 of groups with a 2-1 scoreline and feeling a hell of a lot better about their chances of progressing.
And I think it just shows that in those long games, the experience of the players and a lot of the talent. I mean, Attila in particular, this guy's been in the best league in Europe for a long time, and it shows. It shows he's been delivering there in those clutch team fights. He was still standing strong. And Ashe, a champion that can be difficult to navigate with the lack of mobility, but they came through in the end. It was a fight, though.
It was a big tussle for power, but we're going to toss it to a quick break, and we'll break it down far more detail after this. We're back after what was a tussle, a wrestling match of a game between Vodafone Giants and WLGaming. It was Vodafone Giants who took the win with their veterancy. And this is going to be a sigh of relief for them. They go into 2-1 now, the second half of the split, or the second half of groups. A good situation to be in.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's big for the region because they only have 2 seeds left. They lost GT Arctic. And it was huge that both of them are delivering because going into the next stage of the tournament, you want to have as many teams as possible to up your chances. And we have another week of the group stages, but I think 2-1 is a comfortable spot. 3-0 is obviously ideal, but 2-1 means we are looking at the upper end of our group. We are feeling like we're one of the favored teams to get out. And I think Giants showed in that game, despite how tough of a fight it was, I think that was down to WLGaming's strength, but they showed that when it comes down to it, they can find the clutch moments.
Yeah, you can see some of these moments as well. Like I said, WLGaming just using the strength of this Blitzcrank to constantly get pick after pick after pick. But it was on the back of Attila that this game was won for the side of the Vodafone Giants.
Absolutely. I mean, this Ashe was just so good in this situation. The rest of the team was creating space, creating areas where Attila could carry, but it was ultimately the Ashe who stood up ahead of the rest. And we see that in particular in this team fight where things start to get a little bit messy. We once again don't see the greatest engage coming out of the Antonio. The ultimate doesn't have that much of an impact, and as much as Pretty tries to do as much as possible in this scenario to get access on the backline, it ends up being Attila to clean it up. Still hate up full HP, starts stepping forward, finding the damage, and there's no one to keep this Ashe in check. Even the rocket grab isn't enough to take Attila down.
And I feel overall, you can see in the final fight here, great flank here from the Antonio and Pretty, just making sure that they set up absolutely everything. And once the Syndra goes down, there's no one to blow up the Ashe, the game's won.
Yeah, I mean, that was the one fight you needed just to deliver. You wanted the backline access, the flank came in from the solo lane as the Antonio found a perfect opportunity. And even this fact that Bananitoo survived, it didn't matter. You lost so much HP, you lost your flash and your QSS, and it was like the fight is over irrespective of what happens from here on out. So just finding those moments in the clutch situation to deliver. But I have to give praise to WLGaming. I think they have made this entire group stage be really tough for all their opponents. They've taken that one win, but the other games, they've put so much fight into them.
Absolutely, and we can say the same for Samsung Morningstars. Like these emerging regions of Italy and Greece especially, of course, looking like actual contenders that are coming here to play, not just to participate, which is just fantastic to see. And again, it's not over for WLGaming. They are 1 and 2 in the groups. They still have a second week of matches, and how close that was, I'm not writing them off just yet. They could sneak back a win and force a tiebreaker.
Yeah, I absolutely think they can. I think there's still very much hope for them, and I think it's positives. Irrespective of what happened in this game, there's a lot of positives to take away from this. They have a week or so just to go away and look at the issues and refine a little bit more, because these are powerhouses they're challenging. Giants are a powerhouse team, and they made it difficult for them.
It made it difficult, but that is all we have time for today. For us, we are going to be going away, but we will be joined by 2 fantastic casters later on, so we'll see you soon and week 2 of groups. But coming up next is our second half of games. Don't not go anywhere.